Yeah.
I think I can stupid.
Yeah. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Yerrr Sports Show, episode 67. I am your host, Big Baby, aka the soul of R&B. And to my right,
you ain't got no soul today. What's going on?
Nah.
What's up with that? I'm the soul of R&B. Really?
No soul.
What's going on with you?
I'll talk to you after.
Wow.
No soul. Oh. To my right, we have BK Matt.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
You book it up today. I see.
It's only for tomorrow.
Only for tomorrow.
It's only for tomorrow.
And we have the third member, the voice of generation, Pete Rosado.
What is good, everybody? And you're right. He looks a little down in the soul department today. He don't got as much pep in his step.
Well, but as the show goes on, the pep will be up. Trust me. And
you like my name?
Yeah, looks nice. For those who are listening, it says Giannis ain't shit. And that's in 5. So, and the Queen will join us momentarily. How's you guys' weeks, guys? How was the week?
I was in the hospital. Pressed a nerve.
Again?
Yeah. I work hard.
You're like a human operation board.
I think it's my body telling me, like, you fucked up for all the shit that you did to me over the years, with wrestling and basketball and all that other stuff. So I think it's catching back up to me.
True.
For the most part, it was cool.
That's true. That's cool. Pete, how was your week?
It was a pretty okay week. Went out for the first time in a long time this past Friday. Went out to an actual bar.
Mm-hmm.
Not
you
for
drink.
Yes, I drink.
Puerto Rican.
I didn't know. What that doesn't mean nothing. I know a lot of. He got Poland Springs in his freaking hand right now.
He's recovering.
Lord Jesus.
This is vodka. No, I'm just kidding.
Wouldn't be surprised.
No,
I really wouldn't.
No, my the assistant principal of my middle school is leaving our staff at the end of the year, so he threw a little shindig together for a couple of.
I know you're gonna say shindig.
I
just do it in my head. I'm like, he's not gonna say you think. He's gonna say shindig.
Because you know what it is?
Damn.
He's a white dude, so it wasn't a party. It wasn't this. It was for him. It was shindig.
It was a get together.
Right. It was a get together. Right. At a microbrewery. No, I'm some.
Oh, what? Y'all had them little Y'all had them little bougie IPAs, didn't y'all?
Here's the funny thing.
Right.
Beer does not react well with my stomach, so I don't drink beer. Mm-hmm. I only drink straight liquor, or mixed drinks, obviously. Which is why growing up, when I would go out with my boys or I would go to college, mm-hmm. I wouldn't really get messed up at the bar because it was too expensive for me to get messed up. They over here got dollar beers for 17 hours. Okay, I try to go order a Jack and Coke for like $47. What?
Yeah, not I.
You like Jack, my man.
So I, it was a little bit of a different experience for me when we go out to the bars and stuff like that. But it was a good week.
I absolutely bet it was.
For me, I'm just like,
he had money.
I'm gonna save my money. I got bills.
He had money.
Nah,
he would get like 2 drinks. That'd be like $20. He'd be like, all right, I'm good. That's my limit for the night, y'all.
Yeah,
I can't live off them bologna sandwiches.
I'm on my last drink when I start long sipping. When I start long sipping, I'm on my last drink. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I'm on the last one because I'm gonna make that one last, and that's it. But no, it was a good week. Can't lie. We got 2.5 more weeks till school ends. So can't wait to enjoy the summer. It's gonna be. I hope.
It's over over here.
I really do hope that this turns out to be a really good summer. I know it's gonna be a lit summer. We just saw the ad, Java Slam, July 31st. Like,
Lit.
come on. We got Java Slam coming up. We got other things coming up this summer. You know, then real world stuff. We got wrestling events opening back up. We got sports events opening back. It is about to be. I heard Summer Jam coming back to New York. It's about to be a whole problem.
Oh man, it's gonna be crazy. But my week was pretty cool. Work has been work. You know, getting accustomed to the new position, but it's cool. It's definitely cool.
Feel like it's wearing you out, bro.
Oh, it's not this work. Again, I will talk to you after the show. But I finally changed the song, so we're not going to get copyright. So thank you, Matt, for finally sending me the music.
Hey, man.
Finally,
been on bed rest. I've been on bed rest this week, so
you've been on bed rest because you can't text it to me. Your hands messed up. Okay, I got you.
No, I bought my computer. I was buying my MPC and everything. It's on my MPC. I had to get it to you.
I got you. Totally understand. Nikki, what's going on? Shout out to Nikki on Vegas. She has a dope Twitch channel. Make sure you follow her on there. Tons of fun on that.
I gotta figure out how to work Twitch.
Twitch is not too hard. You know,
like I gotta figure out all these people. Like I got, you know, I mean, when I'm working, I barely have time to do it. But like when I have time to play my video games, I'm like, bro, I wanna go on Twitch and just have fun.
Yeah, Twitch is pretty cool. But so let's get into the episode, and we'll start off with quick hits. Are you guys ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Yo, I am loving that. That sounds like
Roman Reigns.
No, it sounds a little like Roman. It got a little bit of that like Rocky feel to it, and it also got like the feel for like the arcade NBA Jam at the same time.
Yeah, was definitely.
Yeah, Creed was the inspiration for that.
At basketball practice this week, we had one of my students at basketball practice this week was like really on fire from three. So literally just in practice, I was just yelling out, "He's on fire! Boom shakalaka!"
Oh, shout out to Tim Kitzler who did hey, what's the name for? He did a drop for us not too long ago. I'm gonna repost it because I haven't posted it in a while. But let's get into quick hits.
Yes, these are the quick hits for the week of June the 12th. I can't believe we're in June. And let's start with something that really cuts into what we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. As we know, Naomi Osaka left the French Open. Serena Williams got defeated in the French Open. So who was going to win the women's draw? Well, it was unseeded Barbora Krejcikova, who defeated 31st seeded Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in 3 sets at Roland Garros this past earlier today, actually, to win the women's championship. It was just her 5th major tournament as a singles player. Again, she was unseeded in the tournament. So went from unseeded to Grand Slam champion. Congratulations to Barbora Krejcikova. And we do know that Rafael Nadal will not be in the men's French Open finals as he lost in the semifinals to Novak Djokovic in the semifinals. And then we know the French Open has been Rafael Nadal's house for many, many years. Mm-hmm. Continuing to talk about playoffs. The Stanley Cup semifinals are set. We are 1 round away from the Stanley Cup finals. And in the West, we have the number 1 seeded Vegas Golden Knights going up against the number 4 seeded Montreal Canadiens. And, you know, it's hard to think about it when you really think about it. Vegas was an expansion team like 3 years ago.
Literally. 3 years ago.
You don't see this in any other sport. You don't see a football expansion team going to the Super Bowl in 4 years. I mean, it is wild to see. Vegas has been, I think, in the playoffs every year since their first year in existence in the NHL. And in the East, the number 2 seeded Tampa Bay Lightning, who seem to be in the playoffs every year.
Every year, Jesus, man. They don't quit.
They go on to face the number 3 seeded. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, New York Islanders. The Islanders are in the semifinals. A lot of people have them pegged to probably beat the Tampa Bay Lightning and go to the Stanley Cup Finals. And let me tell you something. Ranger fans might run the city, but Islander fans are wild. If the Islanders are in the Stanley Cup Finals, it's going to be a wild time in New York. Listen, you think football, basketball fans are bad? Soccer fans, hockey fans are another brand of crazy.
That's like Long Island's team, ain't it?
It's kind of a little bit, yeah.
It was their team.
They played in the Nassau Coliseum for many years.
Yeah. All of them travel up here on the Long Island Railroad. They were going to Barclays and just. I was on the train one time.
Oh, they playing Barclays now.
No, they did.
No, they did for a little bit, and they left. Thank God. Yo, like it was like a frat party every time they played, bro.
So where they at? The Memorial Coliseum?
I think they're back in Long Island, but because I believe they're building a new stadium.
Yeah.
Veterans Memorial. I think that's called something like that. Yeah. Keep them in Long Island.
Speaking about playoffs, the College Football Playoff Management Committee actually was having conversations this week about expanding the college football playoffs from the current of 4 teams to not 5, not 6, not 8, 12 teams in the college football playoffs under the format that was proposed earlier this week. The brackets would include the 6 highest ranked conference champions and the next 6 highest ranked teams as determined by the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. There would be no limit on the number of participants from a specific conference, and no league would qualify automatically. The greatest thing I heard earlier this week when this first broke was, now it's 12, and then we always hear the thing of, it's a 14 playoff, that 15 deserve to get in. Well, now we're going to expand it to 12 teams, and we're still going to have people saying, that 13th team, man, they should have been in. That 13th team right on the outside should have been in. I get why college football cannot do what NCAA basketball does with 64, but I don't think the controversy is ever going to stop when it comes to the playoffs in college football until we find a way to really just make it about wins and losses. Why you think
it can't be as lengthy as the men's basketball tournament?
The length of time and the fact that they can't play games back to back like that. Dre, you're muted.
I see it.
You can't have 64 football teams.
Well, no, I'm not saying like 64. I'm talking about like a little bit more than. I'm not saying like 64. That's
so you mean like a final, ridiculous. A bracket
like a
type
Sweet
of thing,
16,
right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
So the thing about that is in sports like football, because you cannot play it literally back to back or even a day after, or like 2 days after. It's not going to work, and you have to think about also the television schedules, and these kids are still in school. When are these going to be played?
The season, the length of the season.
How much money the NCAA is going to get over?
Oh no, they'll do it. They'll do it because they'll get the TV money and they'll make the money because college football is always going to be money. I think the biggest thing that you brought up, Dre, is the fact of just the length of the season. For you to do 16 teams, you're going to have to do at least 8 weeks of games. So that's 2 months, which means you're probably going to have to start in November, which means you're going to lose games in the regular season because you need to finish, I believe, by January in order to exist under NCAA rules when this season is supposed to end.
Right. Absolutely. Before you continue on, hold on. The queen is here. The queen is here.
Everybody, sorry for my background noise. I'm waiting for a cab.
No problem at all. I'm actually glad you're here because this story, I did want to get your take on, Queen, knowing that you are a very big supporter and fan of the New York Football Giants. As you know, earlier this week, the big news came down that former Giants head coach Jim Fossil passed away at the age of 71, and he was the Giants coach that I knew. I knew Bill Parcells, and I knew Jim Fossil growing up, and obviously Tom Coughlin and them came later. He was the 1997 Coach of the Year and went 58-53 with one tie when he coached the Giants from 1997 to 2003. He was 2-3 in the postseason, including making the Super Bowl in 2000, where the Giants got shellacked by the Ravens 34-7.
And when was the last time any of your teams were in the Super Bowl to say that? But anyway.
Here we go.
Jim Fossil is fourth in Giants history in terms of wins by a head coach, behind only franchise leader Steve Owens, Tom Coughlin, and Bill Parcells. In his first season with the team, he actually led them to a 10-5-1 record in the NFC East title after the Giants had missed the playoffs 5 of the previous 6 seasons before he took the job. And he is very well known for that guarantee in 2000 in a press conference where he said, I guarantee this team will make the playoffs. And that was a team that had Amani Toomer, Tiki Barber, Michael Strahan, Kerry Collins as the quarterback. Very underrated and under-heralded Giants teams of that time. A lot of people talk about the Parcells teams, the Tom Coughlin teams. I think a lot of people don't give Jim Fossil a lot of the credit he deserves. And Queen, as the resident Giants fan on the squad, you know, what are your memories of Jim Fossil as coach of the New York Football Giants?
I think Jim Fossil was the coach that got us to the point where we can be a serious playoff contender. I believe that it's a monumental loss for the Big Blue. And, you know, my thoughts and prayers are to his family and his supporters. He was not, I would say, the coach that people will remember, just like you just said, Peter. But I feel like without that era, without his work, we wouldn't have the 08 Giants. We wouldn't have the 12 Giants. We wouldn't have those teams. So, you know, it's always the underrated ones that kind of get left out in the cold, but, you know, he's Big Blue forever.
His son actually currently, I believe, an offensive coordinator or a coordinator. I don't see the offensive coordinator, but a coordinator, I believe, for the Dallas Cowboys. And reported the news came down. Strahan spoke about it on Good Morning America as well. But yes, I do agree. Jim Fossil, I think, is as Tay said, very unheralded as a Giants coach.
Mm-hmm. I think he's a special teams coordinator.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah, special teams coordinator. I'm on mute.
No.
Freeze?
No. I'm waiting for Peter.
Oh no, that is the end of
what happened?
Right, I'm trying to figure out, like, he just fell off a cliff and this.
Oh no, that was
like, did he just freeze?
That was my last story. I was just looking at this 2000s Giants team. I mean, you had Kerry Collins, Tiki Barber, Ike Hillard, and Amani Toomer, and Strahan on the defense, Jesse Armstead on the defense, Jason Sehorn was still on that defense. This was a very good team in 2000.
Most definitely.
Amani Toomer doesn't get spoken about enough as a great wide receiver.
Yeah, he was really good. I think he was really good. I don't think he was great, but I think he was really good. But thank you, Pete, for quick hits for the week of June 12th. June 12th. So, guys, you know what? We're gonna do the same thing we did last week. Matt, are you ready?
What's up?
We're opening up the show.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah. We're gonna open up the show completely with quick hits with the smoke section, but you know we're gonna get it popping right now. Matt, are you ready?
I'm dead. Let's go.
Don't OD, please. I'm letting you know, please don't.
Why?
Don't OD.
I gotta liven us up because he's quiet.
Don't
He's
OD.
already started.
Right, but I see it and I know how this is gonna go. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, all right? Please, for me. Matthew.
I just got the section I get to be
I'm just letting you know. Could you start off?
You ain't gotta edit it.
Yes, I do.
We ain't pressing nobody.
All right, Doldy. Could you start off the show saying mother? There's a mother. Yeah, all right.
So, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
You did.
Trying to get me in some. Because
I'm not trying to get you. I'm not trying to get you in trouble. You ain't gonna have to worry about Tay. You gonna have to worry about me, bro. So let's go. Smoke session.
Acting stupid. My thing is acting stupid. The smoke is really about to be this Wi-Fi. That's what it's really about to be. Anyways, the smoke section, people. You want to know who's getting the smoke? Read the name. You see the name? It says, well, if you listen on the podcast, you can't read the name. It says Giannis ain't shit, Nets in 5. And I'm going to tell you why it's Nets in 5, right? Because Giannis Antetokounmpo, or however the hell you pronounce his name, is overrated. He's overrated. I've been telling you, I've been saying this for at least 2 years. Me and Tavia both. He's overrated. He's overrated. And how dare the audacity of some of you jackass fans that will sit there and tell us that Giannis is behind LeBron James. He's the second coming of LeBron James. He's the number 2 best player in the league behind LeBron James. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? Pete, how many attempts did he have at 3 the other night in game 3? How many attempts? Because he only hit 1. He only hit 1.
He did too many. Way too many.
Shot 1 for 8 from 3, 14 for 31
Why is he
overall.
shooting so many 3-pointers anyway? Why?
Because he's a bum. That's why. He's a goddamn bum. He ain't nothing but 6'11", a wannabe Shaq who thinks he's freaking Peja Stojakovic. You can't shoot. Stop shooting. Pete showed me a play. I saw it live, but Pete showed me a play of this man had Blake Griffin one-on-one. He was right there by the free throw line, right? He realized, okay, I'm not 5 feet below the basket. This ain't going to work. Let me rethink this situation. My man backed up to the three-point line and then took off to try to get an and one basket. The man ain't got no footwork. He ain't got no moves. The man ain't nothing but a transitional offensive player. He ain't nothing. I don't know where you fans get talking about this man is number 2 best in the league. Like Anthony Davis didn't play this game. Granted, he's softer than clinics tissue, but he's still number 2 at least. If not number 2, definitely number 3. Why? Why? Because that man, KD, is back. Back. He's back. I don't know why y'all are sitting there.
That did not go how I thought it was going to go. I wasn't prepared for that.
Prepared for what?
I wasn't prepared for that transition. That transition wasn't smooth, bro.
Right.
Kevin Durant is back, and I think we need to acknowledge it.
You know what else is back? Them peas on the. Let me stop.
You got to stop. You got to relax.
So
you got to relax. We ain't gonna get on this. We can't get on this head like that.
So let me just get this straight, Matt. You think that Giannis Antetokounmpo is Giannis, whatever his name is, when he wins,
you can call him bum because that's what I'm calling him now.
I'll call his name. No, are you saying he's properly rated?
Who?
Underrated?
Giannis? He's overrated. Overrated. I don't know where. I don't know what everybody's been seeing. They let these 2 MVPs gas them to think he's something that he's not. I don't understand. And then I heard the little blasphemy freaking comments. Oh, they got Drew Holiday. Chris Middleton gonna get in his own. PJ Tucker gonna shut things down. No. Hell no. Drew Holiday only gave him 9 points the other night. Stop it. You gotta relax.
That Matt's talking about, right? Toronto did the same thing. Toronto shut down Giannis by not allowing him lanes. by shutting down the lanes for him to drive to the basket, because that is his biggest strength. That is his entire game. If he's not already in the paint, he gets the ball and explodes and drives to the basket. And the Nets are doing the same thing the Toronto Raptors did by shutting down the driving lanes. And the clip that Matt is talking about, Giannis could not drive, and he tried to fake in twice, couldn't do it. And instead of passing out because he doesn't realize that he can do that, he backs the ball back up to the three-point line and attempts a terrible drive into a double-team situation where he gets the ball batted out of bounds by Kevin Durant. Now let's talk about Game 3.
Let me apologize to Tavia real quick. I want to apologize because a couple months ago, the Nets added Blake Griffin, and I went into a tirade. I was 100% wrong. Yes, 100% wrong. Blake Griffin is showing the hell up, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not expect
the man's motivated,
this type of play from Blake Griffin.
The man is this close. The man is this close to getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I would say this close to getting to an NBA Finals, something he's never been able to do his entire career when he was with the Clippers. He most definitely was not motivated and going anywhere with the Detroit Pistons. Okay, Blake Griffin, if they told that man, we need you to jump over a car and dunk like you did in the dunk contest, but your knees will explode, but you'll get to the NBA Finals, he'll do it. That's how motivated he is right now. I'm not going to say that I undersold Blake Griffin at all. I think what I said and what you said about Blake Griffin when they acquired him is 100% correct. I think we underestimated how motivated
you guys are so wrong. No. You guys are not right about Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin, to me, is the core that's keeping them that's keeping them dominant in the series.
Defensively, definitely.
Just to be
defensively,
honest,
definitely.
Because he's the only defensive anchor they have on that whole team.
This is very true because DeAndre Jordan ain't playing no minutes.
He's the only defensive.
I'm not going to say that. Jeff Green plays good defense too.
He plays good
Bruce
defense,
Brown.
but he hasn't been. But it's been Blake's court when it comes to the defense.
Let's say that the Nets should be up 3-0. The Nets should be up 3-0. That Game 3, and hear me when I say this. No one on the Milwaukee Bucks team that was not named Chris Middleton or Giannis Antetokounmpo scored more than 9 points. There were only 4 other players on Milwaukee that scored. Here's who scored. Brook Lopez scored 3 points in 35 minutes. Drew Holiday scored 9 points.
He's been playing good defense.
9 points in 45 minutes. Bobby Portis scored 4 points in 12 minutes. And somebody else, I don't know his full name, on Patrick Connor something, whatever, played 13 minutes and scored 2 points. Okay? They didn't get anything out of PJ Tucker. They got nothing out of Lopez. They got Drew Holiday was the
PJ Tucker gas.
Third.
PJ Tucker's gas.
They got a slate out of PJ Tucker. That's pretty much it.
Third leading scorer on that team had 9 points. Joe Harris shot 1 for 11 for the Nets. So Kevin Durant had an uncharacteristically bad shooting night because he usually shoots 60% or better from the field. They both had uncharacteristically bad shooting nights. The Nets make 2 more shots that whole game, and they're up 3-0.
So I have a question, right? I'm gonna go to the clip that you guys were talking about, right? And then I'm gonna ask the question, right? So here's the clip.
Sizing up Griffin at the foul line, beats the dribble, pulls back. Four to shoot, drives to the rim, layup.
No moves at all. My man just took off running like it was
exactly
like
what
it was a derby.
Do, shut it down and then play defense.
So that clip was played for reference to what Matt was talking about earlier. Now my question is, why isn't Giannis holding Kevin Durant anymore?
You know why. He gave him the business in game 2.
So
business.
No, because again, if he's supposed to be the second best player in the world, and we give King James, who's sitting at home on the beach, the same smoke for not guarding the best players on the floor, why are we not giving Giannis Antetokounmpo the same smoke?
Because he's overrated. He's overrated. He ain't even.
I mean,
I'm gonna say this now too. He's not even that great of a defender one-on-one. Let's be clear.
But I'll be honest.
Not a I don't think he's a perimeter. Yeah. I don't think he's a great perimeter defender.
Yep.
But if you are the defensive player of the year, or at least a candidate for the most part, and you're averaging this down in the third, and you're guarding somebody who's about your height, and you're a little bit bigger, I don't know. You gotta get that smoke, player. No, you gotta get out there and play defense.
You said it right there, Dre. He is athletically gifted vertically. But sideline to sideline, he is not going to be able to keep up with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's going to be able to get past him, drive past him, keep Giannis on his heels defensively, and that's the problem. Giannis looks good because he does not play against many players who can hold him defensively in the East, and even when he goes out west. But there are times when he faces players like DeAndre Ayton, Nikola Jokic, and all that, Rudy Gobert. You see Giannis start to struggle. You see him start to struggle because
they're not even athletic.
Right, because they can
all the ones except for Ayton. Boy, take 3 minutes to shoot a free throw. Overrated. The man's overrated. I think we need to shine light on that. The boy can't hit a free throw. He ain't got no mid-range game. All the man can do is dunk. Stand up and dunk. He can block a shot after they come off the pick and roll and they left their defender, and he just comes out of nowhere and blocks it. Because if you look at game 2, Kyrie Irving took him. KD was dancing with him, toying with him. Blake Griffin dunked on him. It was just embarrassing. Yes, he dunked on him. That man dunked
when he punched on him, I'm like, drug test. That was a drug test.
Blake Griffin praise on this podcast at all.
What did you say, Ted?
Oh, I don't want to hear no Blake Griffin praise on this podcast because I believe he's in the same energy.
I kept the same energy. I apologize for it. Don't do that.
And mind you, we're talking about all of this while James Harden has not played more than a minute in this entire series, and imagine now, the Nets clicking on all cylinders and James Harden coming in as a complimentary piece, maybe in the Eastern Conference Finals, not being at full, if they're playing this well now, if Harden comes in and slides his way back into that system, he does not need to be James Harden, and they are exponentially more dangerous by Harden being 50% Harden, sliding back into that offense.
He could be negative 2% James Harden. He could be Mario Thomas.
That word in Scrabble, Pete.
Exponentially.
How much points do you get just for that word in Scrabble?
A lot of points, but I don't think you could.
How do you spell it on the board?
You would need some help because that's a word you don't have enough. You don't have enough tiles for that word.
Right. But
by the way, first time I've used that word outside of my math classroom.
Good job. Wow. While we're on the topic of the NBA and the playoffs, and garbage Giannis, let's continue talking about the NBA and the playoffs in today's topics. Man, I saw you like slapping the table or something now. What happened?
I'm like, why is not playing? I like the music.
Yeah, you gotta get your internet fixed, player. So, Devin Bean Bryant Booker is
Kobe birthday
going nuts. Absolutely ape, man, oh man, man. Like
I told you, Kobe birthed 2 assassins. I
Let me
don't
tell you something,
understand
right?
how it happened.
Denver and shouts to Joker last night. The Joker made history. He's one of the only people to have 32 points, 10 offensive rebounds. One of three people to
It
have
was
30
cute.
points, 10 offensive rebounds, 10 defensive rebounds, and
It was
10
cute.
over 10 assists.
Kareem, Wilt, and
It
Jokic,
was cute.
and both Wilt and Jokic, or was Kareem and Jokic, both lost their games. Two of the three that have had those triple doubles have lost their playoff games.
I'm glad
Right,
you said that
so-
because it was cute. He lost, and it means nothing to me.
We gotta
It's
keep
cute.
the same energy. We gotta keep the same energy because when Russell Westbrook going ham, getting 1,000 triple doubles and losing, we're like, why he's not getting praised enough? So shout out
No, it's not
to the
that.
Joker.
It's not why is he getting praised enough. It's more like what you gonna do with it. That's more or less.
I get what
gonna do with
you're
it.
saying. I get what you're saying, but like I said, it's the same thing. I'm not saying you in particular, but
Yeah, I get what
still
you're saying.
think,
I get it.
yeah, that accomplishment again. Two of the greatest big men of all time, and he's on an accomplishment like that. But
Boy, it was
his
frustrating.
team
last
got
night, man.
dropped off again. like his
Frustrating.
team got dropped off again.
Every time Devin Booker touched the ball, can somebody guard him?
Basically, can somebody guard him, please, God?
That's the first time he spoke English so clear. Can somebody get him?
It was like the Kevin Hart shit. It was like Kevin Hart. Somebody help me, please help me.
So I'm going to start off this question with the Queen. Hopefully she's still there. But
I'm still here, y'all.
got it. Can this team get to the finals?
Which team?
The Phoenix Suns, the Suns
they-
of Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes, they definitely can make the finals. I mean, they're killing it out there. Every
She's Queen. You're going in and out. We're going in and out.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I think the Phoenix Suns has what it takes to make it to the finals and actually do something against the Brooklyn Nets too. They look almost unstoppable out there.
Yeah. Who are they going to put on Devin Booker?
Blake Griffin.
You got Blake Griffin. You have Blake Clamp God Griffin.
You gotta relax.
The washed up king.
The real wash king.
I apologize. Jesus.
I mean, it's going to be interesting, though. It's going to be really interesting to see this team play the Utah Jazz in the Western Conference Finals. That is going to be
Donovan Mitchell's killing too.
That's going to be the
Lil
thing.
Dwayne down there.
The Phoenix Suns are on demon time, y'all. The Phoenix.
Oh, I don't doubt that, but I think, and Mike Conley
Yeah,
Jr.
that team
right
as
now,
a whole, believe it.
Mike Conley Jr. is resting because he's been out for this series. But you got Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Bogdanovich, Conley. They have the offense. A lot of people don't realize they have the offensive players to match what Phoenix can do offensively. Obviously, Gobert to me is going to spell DeAndre Ayton. So it's going to be a matter of can Bogdanovich and Mitchell and hopefully a healthy Mike Conley and the sixth man of the year, Joe Ingles. And the unheralded Ersan Ilyasova from Milwaukee. Are they going to be able to replicate what Chris Paul and Devin Booker have been able to do for Phoenix?
No, I agree. Matt,
Yo,
you're looking up.
Did
Okay.
you see what
I'm looking at Donovan Mitchell kill people right now. That's what I'm looking at.
What did you say, Queen?
what Phoenix did last night?
Yes.
Every other team is
Yeah.
in the Western Conference. I don't care if they got the Monstars there. They're in trouble.
They reminded me of the Lakers team right now. With, of course, Chris Paul is out of this world. So I definitely can't compare him to Derek Fisher. But Devin Booker has a lot of Kobe Bryant in him, and
I don't think so. I'm sorry. I think he's a completely different player than Kobe. I don't see the Mamba mentality in Devin Booker. He's an insanely talented player. I see him more mimicking somewhat of a Steph Curry. than a Kobe Bryant. I don't see the Kobe comparison. And when I wanted to think about it before I came to the show and said it, because I did see that Matt had put that in the post and I didn't respond to it. But I see no resemblance. And that's just me.
Yeah, I see it. Me personally, I see it based on his mentality, and a lot of his moveset resembles Kobe Bryant. But if Kobe Bryant was burst in this era of NBA,
I mean,
basketball.
let's also call a spade, right? We're talking about a Nuggets team that has really overachieved since the loss of Jamal Murray. Okay, this is a team that has really leaned on Michael Porter Jr. to really step up in a major way. And we're seeing that Nikola Jokic needs that number 2 player. He's not going to be able to do it all by himself. And Porter Jr., as good as he may be, is still not there yet. He's not a superstar yet. So we are talking about a severely undermanned Denver Nuggets team. It would be a completely different dimensional team with Jamal Murray on the floor. At least you'd have somebody who can go shot for shot with someone like a Devin Booker and give Jokic take that weight off of Jokic. And you can see how these games are really weighing on Jokic. You can really see it. You saw at the end of game 3, he looked exhausted. He looked not only physically exhausted, but mentally just exhausted by the amount of exertion he's having to put out in this series. The Nuggets have overachieved for a while now. So it would be very interesting to see how this series would be different if the Nuggets were at full strength. And again, I do say I think it's going to be a little bit of a different story. I'm not saying Phoenix can't make the finals. I think Phoenix can. But I think it's going to be a very interesting dynamic to see them go up against the Jazz in the
because they match up. Because they match up. And to add on to that,
Clippers are beating Utah.
Absolutely not. They better.
That's a clip.
Better
that's
not.
A clip.
And
I don't give a crap how good Tyloo is. No.
And I lead you off to the next part of it. The Clippers and this Utah Jazz team.
Boy, it's bad when you leaning on Reggie Jackson. That is bad. You got Kawhi Leonard.
You remember what we said? Bro, remember what we said?
Damn.
I'm like, yeah, Paul George doing the thing for me in fantasy, but I'm not. I'm glad fantasy doesn't go into the playoffs because way off P is back. Pandemic P is here. He's here to stay. But
it's just
Kawhi is out. Kawhi is leaving.
Like I was just about to say, as far as Luka, he is like he leaving one demon in the first round and he's finding another demon in the second round. It's more or less the same with Kawhi and Paul George. They left one demon in the first round in Luka, and now they're seeing a whole different type of demon who got help in Donovan Mitchell. So it's like, gosh, you just can't. I'm sorry. I mean, if you really want to dispel any validity to you being the king of LA and y'all trying to get out of the basement, y'all got a tough task going into this Utah Jazz team. It is not. It's to the point where they just need to go to Seattle or something. Like Clippers need to go. It's not. It's like not even a joke.
Y'all need to be Sonic. Y'all need to be Sonic.
Like after this series, because honestly, I feel like they're gonna get swept. That's just how I feel. That's the feeling right now.
They play tonight, if I'm not mistaken, right? They're playing now, right?
They do.
8:30.
They're about to play now.
Game 3. Donovan Mitchell scored 45 points in game 1, and mind you, Utah was down in that game, and they held the Clippers to 19 points in the third quarter. Listen, one of the things that my basketball coaches used to tell me back in the day was the third quarter tells you a lot about the game. Not the first, not the second, not the fourth. That third quarter will always tell you a lot about a game.
Absolutely.
And the way that the Utah Jazz held the Clippers to 19 points in the third quarter was very telling.
The Clippers are overrated, first of all.
Yeah.
I don't even think they rated anymore.
Are we going to acknowledge the fact that it's not a coaching problem, it's a court problem? It's who they have on the court. It just doesn't work together.
Yeah, and in that game too, Jordan Clarkson had 24 points. Joe Ingles had 19, and Rudy Gobert just like.
Can we talk about the shot Jordan Clarkson hit? like what? What?
I mean, I would be wrong. I'd be wrong to say it, but let's just be real. Okay. Jordan Clarkson just has a way of breaking LA teams' hearts, doesn't he? First the Lakers and now the Clippers.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough.
Kawhi gotta go. He gotta go.
No, Kawhi gotta go and like play overseas.
Here's the question: the Kawhi Leonard LA Clippers experiment has this changed the conversation about whether or not Kawhi is a top 5 to top 10 player in the NBA?
Yes,
he's not bad. He's not bad. Don't get me wrong. The man is scoring and pulling that part of the way, but it's more to the story of being the number one option. You gotta
Kawhi
what?
Yes,
sorry, Quinn. We definitely didn't hear anything you said.
All we heard was Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah,
and disrespectful.
That's
all I heard. Yeah. But what I was saying is to the point of, I'm not gonna sit there and say like Kawhi Leonard is not scoring. He's scoring. He's not playing defense on the best player on the team, which is Donovan Mitchell. And when he does, he's getting cooked. Paul George is getting cooked. Reggie Jackson getting cooked. Rajon Rondo getting cooked. They are all getting cooked. It's not nothing you can do with this man right now. This man he's legit on demon time. It's not Luka, who didn't really have much help because Kristaps Porzingis is a bum. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. This Utah Jazz team they're deep. And they're not just a offensive juggernaut. They play defense too. So it's
you know what? So I've been saying that since the beginning of the year. I was tripped out for saying that earlier. He was like, no, the Jazz is not gonna, they're not gonna hold up. They about to sweep the Clippers.
They about to sweep the Clippers.
If not a gentleman's sweep, just because. And they have a chance. They have as good of a chance to make it to the finals as Phoenix does. Like I know they're gonna go head to head, but I can't call that series, honestly. What's gonna happen?
I'm looking at that series like last year in the bubble, Denver versus Utah, when Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray were just giving it to each other, 40-point games and stuff. Like that's what it's looking like it's gonna be for that series. But the X factor is if Michael Conley plays, and if not Michael Conley, I'm bugging. Yeah, if Michael Conley plays, if Chris Paul plays his potential. That's what I'm saying. And if Chris Paul plays to his potential.
Absolutely. I agree.
That's what it leads up to. But the Clippers, they got to break that team up after this. Like, that experiment has failed miserably. That's what it's looking like. And everybody was jacking this Lakers versus Clippers thing. And it's
Lakers out first, Clippers out next. So for the last game that we kind of were like, the series we kind of just like, oh, all right, the Philly's supposed to sweep them, and then the Hawks came out. They came out kind of hot,
firing,
and then Philly shut that down.
Ben Simmons held Trae Young about damn time.
But I said this from the beginning. I said Ben Simmons should be on Trae Young. Trae Young is too fast for him. So what?
Danny Green couldn't do nothing with Trae Young.
Length and speed, because Ben Simmons is fast. Ben Simmons.
Don't get me wrong. He didn't stop him that much. Yeah. I think he had 28 in the last game, but
28 shooting how many shots? 20 shots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been saying that about Trae Young. I don't think Trae Young should be shooting as much as he does. You need to focus on getting to the lane. They all can shoot. They all got some good shooters on that team.
But they all
got some shooters on that team.
Yeah,
this is what I told you. The Hawks' best thing is their three-point shooting, but the Philadelphia 76ers calling card has that they've been the best defensive team at stopping the three-pointer all year.
Right. They have the number one defensive rating at guarding three-point shots this year.
And if Joel Embiid is giving you 40 on the tournament, in this case, ain't nothing you can do, brother.
And then you got Trey Young.
There's nothing you can do. Ain't nothing you can do.
Who is guarding him?
He is killing Clint Capella, clearly. And he's getting washed.
This is what happens when you go with a small lineup and you have a legitimate 7-footer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just I knew everybody was sleeping on that Hawk team. I knew that Hawk team was going to fight, though. They weren't trying to make that series easy. And game one proved it. They came out firing. So I mean, who may knows, they might pick up another game in Atlanta, but
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like the Embiid factor makes a difference, and that's what I was thinking. That's what I was saying. If Embiid is there, nobody's guarding him. Nobody can guard Joel Embiid. No center in the league can guard Joel Embiid. We've seen it throughout the whole season. Not Joker, because Joker don't even play that good of a defense. Not the defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Nobody. Not Giannis. Nobody.
But let's be clear, though. These Philadelphia, the Sixers haven't been destroying the Hawks.
No, they haven't.
They by no stretch of the matter have they been destroying the Hawks.
But they were up
fairly
20.
Tight games.
They were up 20 last night, though. They were up 20 last night. So they were holding it down, and they let their foot off the gas.
Yeah, but that's what they should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Smacking them by 20, yeah.
Exactly. And
game one.
Hold on, Pete.
Go on, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Game one was the Hawks' chance to really change the tide of this series, and when they lost that lead, it was kind of like, well, they almost lost that lead. Sorry, when they almost lost that lead, it was like, oh my God, wait a minute, like this is that was a clock struck midnight moment.
Yeah, when they turned up the heat on that press, yeah, it was a midnight moment.
And that's the problem there.
So
the Philly's outscoring them. I will say this much: Atlanta and Philly are even on rebounds, but Philly is distributing the ball better. They're stealing the ball at a better rate. Okay, and they're shooting the ball.
The Hawks are turning over the ball,
and they're
shooting the ball at a better rate.
Yeah, the Philadelphia 76ers are averaging about 9 steals, and the Hawks are only averaging about 5. And where Philly is winning is points in the paint and on the fast break. They are outscoring Atlanta on the fast break 15-8. That's a problem.
Yeah. So
shout out to Shake. My man Shake.
Big Shake. So last question about these playoffs. This particular segment. And I'll start with Tay, go around. This should be quick. Is Philadelphia the team that has the best chance to beat Brooklyn?
No.
Queen. All right.
Thanks.
Matt.
No. I say no because you have to fight fire with fire, and the only thing they're going to be able to beat them on, honestly, yeah, they got great perimeter defense, like Andre just said, but you got to also take a knowledge to the point that they don't really have nobody that can stop that top 3, and then they have a whole lineup that's committed to not just shooting threes. Yeah. They're getting in the paint. They're getting fouls. Mm-hmm. So, and we're dealing with high IQ basketball players on the Brooklyn Nets that are believing in that system and believe that they are as good as they look on paper. So you got to take that into the account of as great as a defender Ben Simmons is, he's not stopping not one of the top 3 of that Nets team. Tobias Harris can't do nothing with nobody on that team. And Joel Embiid can easily get in foul trouble if Kyrie breaks into the paint or Bruce Brown breaks into the paint. So that's another thing. And he's playing on the injury. So even though he might not be overexerting himself in the Atlanta Hawks, he's going to have to with that Brooklyn Nets team. So if I have a person if I have a team that I think could match up with the Nets that can give them a problem, is going to be Utah.
Or Phoenix. I think either one of those Western teams are going to be the biggest test for the Nets. I don't think it's going to be Philly, because I think about it like this. Philly, to me, the player that I'm scared the most of is Joel Embiid.
That's it.
The player that I'm scared the most of in Brooklyn could be Kyrie, could be Kevin Durant, could be James Harden. Joe Harris could easily go off. And we've seen Blake Griffin, for some reason, be able to turn back the clock, right? I'm not saying Blake's going to go for 30 and 15, but we've seen him be able to turn back the clock a little bit. Now, here's where I do give Philly a little bit of the advantage. I think that if the game goes deep to the bench, they have bench players that I am a little bit more – I have more faith in Milton, in guys like
Thabo,
Harris, and Thabo, and all of them than I do after you get past Joe Harris and those boys on the Nets bench.
I think Landry Shamet is a little bit smarter than you giving him credit for. I think even Claxton is stepping into his own on the defensive side and grabbing boards. Jeff Green is also playing pretty good. So I mean, well, not playing now, he's hurt, but he's going to come back eventually, and he is a good anchor for that defense and that bench. So you gotta take that into account. Yeah, the Sixers are kind of deep, but the Nets can easily go 8 or 9 deep.
Yeah, I think the Nets will beat Philly. I don't think they have enough defensively to stop the starting five of the Nets, because again, anybody could go off on that five, with the exception of maybe Blake. But Harris, Kyrie, Harden, Durant, any one of them. And if the Nets are smart, what
do you mean with the exception of Blake? Blake is the reason why I feel like the Nets are being as dominant as they are. Without him, they're just a running gun team right now. You get what I'm saying? I do see the Nets beating Philly, but trust me, and I keep saying this, like y'all counted out Rondo last year.
Okay.
I'm not saying that Blake's not important.
Hold on.
I'm not saying that.
What do you say?
You guys are giving flowers to people who are not having the defensive prowess that Blake has. And all right, Jeff Green is a good defender. All that stuff is all fine and dandy. But the thing is, without Blake Griffin on that court, I don't see this being an easy series for the Nets. You get what I'm saying? I feel like the fact that he is who he is right now, the Nets look virtually unstoppable coming out of the Eastern Conference.
I'm not, and she's not wrong. I was talking from an
That's kind of what I said.
Yeah, I was talking from an offensive side, Tay. You're not wrong at all. I don't see Blake being the leading scorer and all of a sudden dominating the game offensively for the Nets.
The last thing the Nets need is another scorer. That's the last thing they have. Kevin Durant, who's one of the greatest scorers and scorers only of this generation.
That's the point
I was
trying
saying
to make.
is
That's the point
I was arguing how deep they are.
Right. That's the point.
When I was saying about
anybody in that starting lineup can go off and lead them offensively. Harden could be the number one scorer and they could win. Durant could do it. Kyrie could do it. Joe Harris could go on a crazy shooting night and be the leading scorer. I didn't. What I was saying about Blake was I don't think he's going to be the guy that's going to be the leading scorer on the stat sheet on any given night. I'm not disagreeing with you at all about Blake's impact on the game. What I did want to say really quickly, if the Nets are smart with Harden coming back off the injury, I'd have Harden leading the second unit and being a monster by himself when Durant and Kyrie are sitting.
No, I'll have him start.
I'll have him start. I still have Kyrie with the bench. Yeah. I have Kyrie with the bench.
Yeah.
I would do Kyrie with the bench.
Yeah. I'll have them go.
And Blake Griffin's a starter, so that's why that conversation was more or less because Pete said something about the Sixers being a lot more as far as going to the bench. He gave the edge to the Sixers, and I was saying their bench is deep. They can go 8 or 9 deep in their rotation, whereas Philly can probably go 7 and wish upon a star and hope that the 8th or 9th can do something.
You're right, Matt.
Huh?
She said you're right.
I say you're right, Matt.
Thanks.
So
I've never heard her say that before.
She has said that.
Stop.
She said it like 3 times today already. Yo,
I'm a little overwhelmed.
You just want bad things to happen to you, and then
I'm overwhelmed with emotion right
now.
I'm sorry.
Then you're gonna see her tomorrow, and then when she yoke you up, I'm just gonna sit and watch. I got nothing to do with that.
She's gonna give me a big hug because I miss my sister.
And a suplex.
Yeah, it's been almost a year.
Yes,
it really has, haven't it?
Yeah, for sure, man.
For
That's
sure.
the only reason why I'm coming out, because I'm really tired. So I love Amanda 100,000%. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen everybody in so long, so I'm not staying long. The washed up queen needs to get some rest.
Washed up queen.
No, I'm washed, y'all. I don't even know. I can't even put myself on camera. I look like I've melted.
Oh man. Oh man. Well, speaking of washed, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I'm done. I don't even want to do this right now.
That is a disrespectful transition.
So let's go into Matt's man.
He's going through a midlife crisis right now. He's growing a ponytail. He's dating a younger woman. I remember that girl from the Four North Stars. I'm like, she with Aaron Rodgers?
He's married to that woman.
They married already?
Yeah.
Probably got married at Disney World.
Hey, get it how you live. Get how you live, Mr. Rodgers. Get how you live. Let's talk about him now. Just like I had a whole big thing about it, but Aaron Rodgers is basically a distraction right now, right? Because he knows he's on his way out. Granted, there has been some things that the team in general, the upper management could have done better, but with Aaron Rodgers being out and the teammates kind of rallying behind Aaron Rodgers, if you're Jordan Love and you're about to be put in this position to be the starting QB, I'm sorry, I haven't started with Pete yet. Pete, what is your thoughts on if you're Jordan Love? How would you feel about this?
I mean, this is the business of the NFL, right? If I'm Jordan Love, I'm just biding my time, keeping myself. Here's the thing. If I'm Jordan Love, I'm not saying a damn word, because as much as this may be a media story, at the end of the day, Green Bay and the fans of the Packers love Aaron Rodgers. They lead their Sundays saying a prayer to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And if you're Jordan Love, the last thing you want to do is alienate the fans of Green Bay. The last thing you want to do is say one thing wrong about this whole situation and get out on that field, and immediately the Green Bay fans turn on you. It's already bad enough that he has to step into the shoes that were once filled by Aaron Rodgers, the same way Aaron Rodgers had to step into the shoes that were once filled by Brett Favre. So it's already tough. Jordan Love, in my opinion, is doing the best thing he can do, and that's keeping his mouth shut, his head down, and doing the work that he needs to do. But I'm going to tell you this. When Jordan Love steps on that field, especially if the situation with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers goes south, if Aaron Rodgers does not leave Green Bay amicably, I can never say that word, if they don't leave each other on good terms.
There you go.
Okay, if they don't leave each other on good terms, I'm going to tell you right now, if Jordan Love does not play well quickly, he will have no rope in Green Bay. Because if they leave on bad terms and all of a sudden it's now Green Bay rallying around Jordan Love and he don't play well, it's going to be a problem with them fans.
Most definitely. Tay, your thoughts. If you're Jordan Love, how are you taking this?
Still on mute, Che.
No, I think it's going in and out. Her connection's going in and out. But if you hear her, you know, Matt. All right, so next topic. All right, let me stop. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Matt. If you're Jordan Love, how are you feeling about this whole situation?
I agree with Pete. You shut the hell up and you wait for them to call your name. And if you are as good as they think you are, because they picked you as his successor, you better live up to the bill, because that is a whole mess of shoes you have to fill. And a whole lot of expectations because of what that man has done for that franchise up until recently, being the reigning MVP and the level of accuracy he was throwing at. So you gotta live up to that bill. And if you're Jordan Love, you're working out every day. You realize what's going on, but you don't feed into it. You realize you're kind of in the center of it, but you put on them Beats headphones. You tune it out, you work hard, and you try to fulfill every expectation that is of that position that Aaron Rodgers had.
Yeah, but you know what? To be honest with you, Green Bay always has a nasty transition in between quarterbacks.
That's a fact.
It happened with Favre and Rodgers, and now it's happening again. And I definitely agree that Jordan Love shouldn't have anything to say at this moment, regardless of what. People are going to shit on him like they shit on not Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers was like, until he started winning for the team, they weren't really messing with him, the Green Bay fans. They were sour about Aaron Rodgers for a while. You get what I'm saying? So it takes a while to get that transition into being the team's quarterback. But I think Green Bay has a nasty reputation of that transition, that disrespectful transition between franchise quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And Aaron Rodgers is washed. Sorry.
Moving forward.
You didn't win MVP.
Hey, you could be washed and still you could be washed and win MVP.
No, the hell you can't. Don't lie. Don't lie. That man is not washed. He's a walking legend.
That was a political thing.
And you announce him right.
That was more.
He's the reigning MVP. He's our MVP. Announce him right. Washed up. He ain't washed up. Matt LaFleur is washed up.
Nobody want to hear Matt. Go ahead. Nobody want to hear Matt.
I think that Aaron Rodgers MVP was a little political more than it was factual, just being honest with you. I think that I do. And I said that from day one. He played great football, but where did it get them? Nowhere.
It got them to relevancy. That's where it got them to. What are you talking about?
The Green Bay Packers will always be a relevant football team.
Thanks to Aaron Rodgers. Thank you.
God.
Thank you.
So
to our MVP, that's why they are relevant. Because
so
of our MVP.
No, they're relevant because they're a legacy team. They won the first two Super Bowls in the history of the NFL. They are a legacy team. Okay, we still talk about Vince Lombardi and Bud Grant and all of them from Packers lore. Listen, for a long time,
you speak about them. That's not all of it.
That's why you about to go and get Jack Tunney Tyrant again, ain't you? Okay. That's what you about to do.
Listen, the Packers are a great team.
He couldn't even hold it.
The Packers are a great team, and they had great Jack years. Tunney. They had great years with Brett Favre and Donald Driver, and they had great years with Aaron Rodgers. But
the legend Aaron Rodgers.
No, but here's the thing. I said the same thing. I said the same thing about Peyton Manning that I'm about to say about Aaron Rodgers. If Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers are as good as everyone says they are, and they don't have anybody that's heads and tails near them in terms of skill, how is it that until Peyton went to Denver and won an easy one, both him and Aaron Rodgers have only won one Super Bowl?
It's not easy, Pete. It takes a team, Pete. Don't do that.
It takes a team. You're right.
Rodgers haven't had help.
You're right.
Don't do that.
You're right.
Don't do that.
You're right. It takes a team.
Rodgers
Listen
don't have.
to
Aaron Rodgers
No.
Aaron Rodgers don't have the same help
I
Tom
remember
Brady
that.
has
I remember
every
that.
freaking year.
It takes every year.
Every year.
Every year.
You
Have you
just,
seen
you
some
just
of
thinking
those
of one.
pictures?
You just
Have
think.
you seen some of
You
those
just thinking about
Patriots
one.
teams?
You think one
Have you
season.
seen some of those
Think about
Patriots
one
teams?
season.
Outside,
Think about one season.
and I'm talking about Peyton Manning here. Outside of Tom Brady, everyone said that there was no quarterback better than Peyton Manning besides Tom Brady throughout Peyton Manning's entire time in Indianapolis. And what happened? He
I
won
still
one
don't say
Super
Tom Brady
Bowl
better than
that
Peyton Manning.
entire time.
You said
And
what?
for some of that time,
I'm
Tom
not
Brady
saying
was
Tom
still
Brady better than
considered
Peyton Manning.
not to be
sure
as
you don't
great
wanna
as
say
he
it?
was.
I'm not going to.
You
You
probably
won't
should.
hear it come out of my mouth. I'm not.
No, I'll edit.
Tom
I'll
Brady-
edit it. I'll edit it.
Tom Brady is not better than Peyton Manning.
Thank you.
I don't know.
No.
Tom Brady.
And
Thank
Peyton
you,
Manning-
Andre. Thank you, Andre. Speak.
I don't know if
Speak
that
that. Speak that truth, Andre.
I don't know if
Thank
that
you.
was a if it was corrected, but Peyton Manning won 2 rings.
No, I said outside of the one that he won in Denver. I was talking about his time in Indianapolis when he was considered to be, without question, outside of Tom Brady, he was considered to be the best player far and wide in the NFL.
Still is.
And he only won 1 ring, right?
You said
and then
what?
Brady,
Yeah, but
I
you
said
can't
he
discount
is.
you can't discount the 2 rings. Like at the end of the day,
My man.
the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won that championship this year. Let's be real here. Like they won that championship because if you had that offense was above average. Not
The Buccaneers?
elite.
The Buccaneers?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think
Their
Kansas City
offense-
had the better offensive team.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. I'm gonna connect on my computer because my phone is acting like it has like syphilis. Hold on.
All right.
Did not just say that. Did not just-
a phone got syphilis.
Yo.
That's going on the shirt. That's definitely going on the
definitely
shirt.
Phone got syphilis.
Oh man.
Oh man.
How your phone
Okay,
get
all right,
an
all right, all
STD?
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
This next one should be pretty quick, right?
Something wrong with Tavia.
I don't know where she got that from either. I don't know. Trust me, I don't know. God, I don't know. So
I'll be back on in like 30 seconds. Just give me a minute.
got you. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Hold
So,
up, Jay. So you think
She
Tom
said
Brady
30
better than
seconds.
Peyton Manning? I know. I'm talking to you.
Oh, me?
You really think Tom Brady better than Peyton Manning?
Yes.
You really about to? What? Why? What? And you better not use rings in the Super Bowl to argue your point. I'm talking about skill for skill. You really think Tom Brady is better than Peyton Manning?
Tom Brady and Peyton Manning both had the same amount of help for the most part.
I'm not talking about the help. I'm not talking about the rings.
Right.
Talking
but
about skill.
Who do you throw to? Who do you throw
Peyton
to?
had far and away better offensive teams than Tom Brady. Offensively, far and away better. Tom Brady always had a better defense than Peyton Manning did because the best player defensively outside of Dwight Freeney on the Indianapolis Colts was Bob Sanders, and that man couldn't stay healthy.
Okay, so I said outside the team and the rings, you're dead. You're really going to say Tom Brady's better than Peyton Manning? Skill for skill.
Don't the stats prove it?
Wow.
Don't
So
the
you agree
stats
with him
prove
too,
it?
Pete? You agree with him, Pete?
I don't think Pete agreed.
I didn't say I agree with him. I just made a point about how Peyton Manning had a far and away better offensive team in his years in Indianapolis.
I'll die. That's one of the hills I'll die on. I'll take that.
So do you think? So you think that? Do you think that, Pete? Is what I'm asking you.
Do I think Tom Brady as a quarterback is better than Peyton Manning as a quarterback? In terms of position, no. Is he a better quarterback in terms of what he's accomplished than Peyton Manning? Yes. And he's better because he did it with less.
Absolutely.
That's what I said. Skill for skill. That's what I said.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Y'all got me fresh face on this bitch today.
That's what's up. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
What up, Jay? How you doing?
So, Julio, big Julio.
Hold on. I heard that nonsense a couple minutes ago.
I will take it.
It was him.
I will stand here. I will stand here.
It was
and
him.
take
I feel as skill is concerned, I feel like Peyton Manning was a more skillful quarterback. I feel like Peyton Manning was able to do more with less. And I also feel like where Tom Brady edges out is that Tom Brady had better defenses and better coaching. But
Way better coaching.
way better coaching. But I feel as if Peyton Manning was always a quarterback coach to me. And where Brady didn't have to be that quarterback coach, if that makes any sense.
So Peyton's the better game manager than Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's a better ball manager.
Yes, I agree. No, that I agree with. I'm just saying if we're putting
Higher IQ too.
Yes, because Peyton Manning's the god at IQ.
You see, that's where I'm a little like, I think that Tom Brady has a very high football IQ.
He can figure out defense is better than Peyton.
Yeah.
You think so?
Wait, I knew what?
You think he can figure out his opposition defense better than Peyton?
Not at all. I thought you meant was he able to? I don't know. I thought you said something completely different. I'm sorry, guys. I'm running on 2.5, 3 hours of sleep.
You always saw that when Brady was always able to adapt. If Manning ever got in trouble or Manning didn't have anybody to throw to, Manning was a sitting duck. When Manning didn't have offensive weapons, it was hard for him. He was able to break down the defensive when he had weapons. Brady was always able to do it without weapons. Remember, Brady's best 2 weapons were three were Randy Moss for 2 seasons. Okay?
But he always had a dangerous core though.
Welker and then
Edelman. He had Edelman. He had Gronk. He had what's that one that killed everybody?
Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Yo,
I was about to say, hold on.
What's that one who killed everybody? No, who was that other tight end? What's the guy who killed everybody?
You gotta get some sleep. You gotta relax. I don't know what you gotta relax today.
I'm looking all pale. But at least I look younger without makeup. But I'm looking all pale. And
I knew something was wrong when you said your phone got syphilis. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just.
But when you look at
just imagine what syphilis on a phone would be, and that's my phone. So
when you look at what they were working with, in Indianapolis, you had Marvin Harrison, you had Reggie Wayne, you had Ricky Prohl, you had Dallas Clark at the tight end position, who does not get the amount of respect that he should as a tight end. And for a long time, you had Edgerrin James as the running back. They were, when you talk about stacked offensively in Indianapolis, and they had one of the best offensive lines in Indianapolis for a long time. You saw
50 wide receiver, a top 50 player on their team, 2 of them.
Well, you had 2 top 50 wide receivers. I think a top 50 tight end, a top 50 running back, obviously a top 50 quarterback.
50 is not impressive. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about all time, not.
Oh, I'm about to say because
no.
And I give you Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison, bro.
Not at each position.
None of them is messing with Gronkowski.
I said James.
And and Marvin Harrison and Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
But come on, you cannot. Gronkowski was leaps and bounds ahead of some of these guys we're naming.
And I really feel like you trying to play Randy Moss.
Even Hernandez was leaps and bounds ahead of some of these guys.
No, I'm not trying to play anybody.
As well as in skill.
I mean,
I'm saying that
I get it, but
for a long period of time, Peyton Manning had more consistent weapons. Brady had weapons in spurts. Okay, Brady did a lot more with a lot less for a longer time.
No, I don't think so.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree
even agree with that because
You know,
Gronkowski has been around for a minute.
You know what it is.
For
You know what it is. You know what it
Boy,
is.
been around for an hour, not a minute, an hour.
You know what it is. You know what it is. It was
And he's like Brady had what, and I want to this Brady made on his trash receivers or trash like selections better than what they look.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you, but Queen, you were saying.
I feel like the reason why we kind of look at the two like that is because we saw Peyton's team play more during the regular season, and we saw the Patriots more during the postseason. So it's really hard to say who had what, when, and where, because I feel as if I didn't really watch a lot of Patriots games, but I saw a lot of Colts games, and it's easy to make that determination based on what you think somebody has during the regular season. But I feel as if, what's his name? Oh, why am I not remembering his name again?
Hernandez?
Belichick?
Bill Belichick, yes.
He is a playoff coach. He don't care about the regular season as long as they make enough to make it into the playoffs. That's how I feel. And that's the difference.
I mean, let's just look at his first two Super Bowls. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl in 2001. His starting wide receivers were Troy Brown and David Patton, and his tight end was Rod Rutledge. In 2003, his second Super Bowl, he had Deion Branch and Troy Brown with Christian Foria and Daniel Graham as his tight ends. Okay, his running back for both of those, was Antoine Smith in 01 and Kevin Falk in 03.
Who were they? But the thing is, they were playing against the Rams, who choked in the Super Bowl. Again, that's what the Rams do.
His first three Super Bowls, he had nobody. The best player on his team was probably Corey Dillon on the 2004 Super Bowl team. He won his first three Super Bowls with nobody. And that's what I'm saying.
I'm just trying to see.
He did get help later in his career. He did get help later. He got Rob, as you said. He got Aaron Hernandez. He got Welker and Edelman, and eventually they got Randy Moss for the time they had Randy Moss. But for a long time, Tom Brady did more with less. In those same years that I just mentioned, Peyton Manning had Edgerrin James and two top 50 wide receivers.
Bro, you see, that's where I'm going to cut you off right there, because when you look at the stats of that first Super Bowl between them and the Rams, you get what I'm saying? You can't compare Kurt Warner to Tom Brady at that point, right? And when you're looking at the people the Patriots players in those positions ranked higher in individual stats up to the Rams players in those same positions. You get what I'm saying? So they may not be people who we talk about, like we talk about the Gronks and we talk about these people, but as little as we're talking about these people, we weren't talking about as Azir Hakim. We're not. He was like on the Rams or Pro. Do y'all know who Yo Murphy is? Do y'all know who Ernie Conwell is? Do y'all know who?
Pre probably knows that whole team.
No, I mean the top three wide receivers.
It's not like he was playing.
Yeah, that's probably Pete.
No, but they were running.
And then the Patriots ran into trouble whenever they ran into teams that were either resilient teams or elite teams.
Just to put a bow on it, yes. I think that topic between Brady and Peyton is definitely a good topic to put in the chamber for definitely another time. But the last topic, real quick, Julio Jones to Tennessee. This is a quick one. Is Tennessee tight? Are the Tennessee Titans a contender now? Or are they still just bump out the playoffs? Just be scared of Derrick Henry and then get bumped out the playoffs? Tay.
I don't even care.
I don't either. I'm not gonna hold you. I like Julio though.
The guy who only got targeted one time in that Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah.
Sad
thing.
I mean, to me, they become
sad.
In my opinion, they become the best team in the division. We don't know what the Colts are going to be next year. We don't know what the Colts are going to be next year. We don't know what we don't know what Houston's going to look like because God only knows if Deshaun Watson is going to play in the NFL.
Garbage. They're going to be garbage.
They're far and away.
It was garbage with Deshaun.
They're far and away the best team. Ryan Tannehill has now 2 very, very good wide receivers to throw the ball to, which means that he doesn't have to rely on Derrick Henry to win games for them all the time. And that's what I think is going to be the biggest thing. It's going to allow them to lower the workload on Derrick Henry and allow Ryan Tannehill to air the ball out to Julio and A.J. Brown.
All right, so
I like how this Andre Watson thinks.
I'm with him.
Houston
is non-existent.
They deserve it.
You know what's funny? I came across this story, I think a couple of days ago. Literally, a friend of Deshaun Watson says that Deshaun wants to go play in Denver. How does Deshaun Watson even still get an opinion about where he wants to go play?
He's going to play in the prison yard the next couple of years, but we'll see.
The longest yard.
It's the longest yard.
What's that sad like?
Right.
I think Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, and Adam Sandler.
But yo, I didn't get a chance to really talk about Giannis.
Okay. Here's the floor to you for the last couple minutes of the show.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Can I just say that Giannis be looking real dumb when they're losing?
Mute your mic, guys. Mute your mics. This is Tay Smoke section right now. Mute your mics.
He sit there with this dumb blank expression like he don't know why he's even on the court. And that is so angering to me. You get what I'm saying? They had to pull out all the stops to beat a Brooklyn Nets team the other night that was underperforming. They are in trouble. And at what point are we going to finally say that, like, I don't care how many accolades you put on somebody, that doesn't mean that they are the best and the best. That's why I keep saying to Matt that, yeah, Aaron Rodgers was MVP, but guess what? Giannis was MVP 2 times in a row. And what has that gotten? And what has that gotten the Bucks? Nothing but embarrassed. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like I was watching the game. I think I was watching the game when I was on my flight, right? And I was like, yo, he's cutting to the rim. He was looking pretty impressive the first quarter. That first quarter was the best Giannis had ever looked in his entire, I would say, postseason career. But, you know, I don't know if it's that he doesn't have the right pieces around him. But what's really, really pissing me off is seeing all these bigs shooting so many freaking threes. Like, you are 6'9". If you don't have any type of paint game, then you shouldn't be getting the looks that you're getting. That means that your overrated ass needs to sit at the end of the bench. Because there's no reason why he should be shooting 8 or 10 3-pointers. But that's my TED Talk. I'm over Giannis. I want them to, and then it was the free throws. The free throws. The referees kept I was counting myself. He took 16 seconds in between each free throw and missed. And it wasn't until the 5th time that he did that they started calling that 10-second violation. And when the one that they called the 10-second violation wasn't even the one that he violated. You get what I'm saying? All that for it to go straight into the crowd. Like, when are we going to say that this is over? When are we going to say that it's over? When?
It was over game 2.
I'm talking about I'm talking about putting Giannis on this pedestal of being like top 5, top 10 players. Like we crap on Kawhi. And to be honest with you, when you crap on Kawhi, but letting Giannis, I'm not saying here. I'm just saying in general. You get what I'm saying? The Clippers' woes are making people question Kawhi's legacy as an elite player. Kawhi, to me, is still top 5 in the league. Just being honest. Just being honest.
Agreed.
You get what I'm saying?
He's definitely number 5 right now.
Yeah, he's still.
So Steph moved up.
Giannis is not in the top 10. Top
Steph moved up,
15, top 20 maybe. Giannis is not even top 3. He's not even top 15, and it ain't close. And we've been saying it for a long time. And I'm going to keep saying it until the league hears it.
Yo, the Giannis experiment failed and was over when we said it on the show when they were like, not even, I think it was when they played Miami. And they were about to go against Miami. I'm like, they're not going to beat Miami. They wasn't going to. But
I don't know if Kawhi's top 5.
Name your top 5.
LeBron.
No. Save it. No. Save it. Hold on.
Let him say it. Who's your top 5?
LeBron. Kevin Durant. Steph Curry. Luka Doncic. And Anthony Davis.
Get the hell out of here. Anthony Davis over Kawhi Leonard? Nah, baby. No.
Definitely to be continued.
I could even say Devin.
No.
You could even say James Harden.
I can't even argue his list.
Anthony
I can't argue his
Davis?
list. I can't argue his list.
You could even say James Harden could be in the top 5.
I still put James Harden over
Leonard?
James Harden over Kawhi Leonard. Damn.
Anthony Davis is top 10. Anthony Davis is top 10. He's not top 5.
In my opinion, Kawhi Leonard's legacy got boosted simply because he led Toronto to the chip. To me,
what about what he did in San Antonio?
Didn't he beat LeBron?
Hold on.
What about San Antonio? Hold on. Are you guys kidding? What he was doing in San Antonio?
I don't necessarily think he beat LeBron because LeBron still averaged 28 and 8. So I mean,
he was and always has been one of the best, if not the best, one-on-one defensive players in the NBA. I think
it ain't looking like it.
I think he is a great player, but I do not think Kawhi Leonard without the Duncan, Manu, Tony, that core still being there, Kawhi Leonard does not win.
That's not fair. That's not
talking
fair.
about what Andre said?
Queen, I want you to look at this comment because this one was for you.
Who? Kawhi Leonard? He ain't giving no Knicks.
I ain't going to the Knicks.
I ain't even.
Might go to Miami.
I'm not even getting my hopes. I'm not.
Andre makes a good point.
I think tell you something.
Go on, let me go to Brooklyn, y'all. Go on, let me go to Brooklyn.
Let me tell you something. Come and talk to me when Anthony Davis can make it through a damn playoff series, right? Unscathed. Then we could have conversations about him being in the top 5.
I want to see Anthony Davis make 65 games. No, I want to see him make 65 games.
I want him to play a full season. You know what I'm saying? Without falling on his gonzo looking ass, right? Before you come and tell me about a top 5.
What is Charmin?
I mean, I can't lie with you on that, but I think Andre makes a good.
There's a lot of things, but Kawhi Leonard ain't soft. The only thing about Kawhi Leonard that's soft is he's soft spoken. There's nothing soft about how he play his game.
I think Andre makes a good point. Andre makes a good point though. Mike Budenholzer to me is this generation's Mike D'Antoni.
No.
He has led.
They played good.
It's not the same.
That Bucks team played defense, and that Hawks team played good defense.
Not in the defense. Hold on, y'all thinking in the defensive capacity. I'm not talking about defensively. I'm talking about
season great, but stuck in the playoffs.
He has led 2 teams to 60-plus wins in the regular season, to the number 1 seed of their conference, and none of those teams are able to go far enough as the finals in the playoffs. D'Antoni had the same problem in Phoenix. He was a great regular season coach, but that system never worked in the playoffs. And Budenholzer has the same problem. He has great offensive teams. He has great teams, but they are not equipped for playoff basketball.
All right. Well, we'll see
I agree,
next week. We will see next week because Giannis, the Bucks, and Bud will be on. They are going fishing, and they will be on the top of the show in the smoke section next week.
What?
For sure.
If they lose in 5,
Anthony Davis over Kawhi Leonard, I'm pretty sure.
All right, I'll put James Harden over Kawhi Leonard.
James Harden's even worse.
I'll put a healthy Klay Thompson.
All right, it's time for you to go. It's time for us to wrap this up. It's time for us to wrap this up.
Y'all too disrespectful. Then y'all be wondering why y'all sports opinions be so wrong.
He's wild.
Wait, why you gotta go, y'all? Whoa, wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Put your gun away here, Kelly.
That Clay was over the top. I almost removed you.
I never said Clay was.
No, he did. He did.
I would never say that.
Kawhi Leonard.
Look, I'm not going.
Clay with Kawhi is wild.
He raised some good points, though, Tay. He has raised some good points, though. As far as the Kawhi argument, he is raising some good quotes about Kawhi.
I didn't hear
Kawhi. Everybody started saying this. Everybody started jacking Kawhi being like,
you see?
Look, the internet tripping again.
Kawhi's let Kawhi.
Yo, your internet. No, hold on. Matt, you good? Your internet good now?
I'm here.
I'm just making sure because when you started talking,
this thing is aggravating me.
You started talking crazy.
Every time you say the wrong opinion, your Wi-Fi freezes.
I was saying, everybody started saying this Kawhi is number 2 thing after the Toronto series when he won a championship with Toronto, but everybody escapes to remember that there was no KD, there was no Klay Thompson. So if the Warriors were fully healthy, we all know the Warriors would have beat Toronto. Would everybody be saying Kawhi's number 2 then?
You want to hear something?
And a miracle shot got him there, by the way.
This may be a real hot take, and I'm sorry, and I do not, and I will not take this away. I don't care how many rings they may win, but Kevin Durant is a weak ass player.
What do you mean weak ass player? You gotta weak. As far as what?
His leg. To be honest with you, let me tell you something. People, I used to see the first of all, I didn't have to explain myself, but I think Kevin Durant is overrated. And I feel this with my heart of hearts. Like I can see the grit in Kawhi. I'm not even putting LeBron in this category, this conversation, because it's like it doesn't even make any sense. But I don't see the grit in KD like I've seen in Steph Curry, like I see in Devin Booker, like I see in certain players. Even the grit I see in a Kyrie Irving, and you know I ride Kyrie hard. Kevin Durant doesn't have that heart to me. The heart of a killer, the heart of a champion. And I feel like he's overrated as fuck.
We're going to leave it at that. No response to it, y'all. No response to it. Shout outs to the Jabba Tears Network, 2.5 Bros, the Jabba Tears Podcast, and Own Talk. Us at the Yerrr Sports Show, Tavius Tea Time, Brooklyn BS. Jabba Slam is coming up, y'all. Jabba Slam, July 31st. By the time the show comes out, it'll be a couple days from Amanda's birthday. So happy birthday, early birthday to Amanda Panda.
Happy birthday, booby. Woo!
And Izzy,
yes. And happy
birthday, Izzy.
Yes. Happy birthday to them too. We're gonna celebrate. By the time this comes out, we would have been turned up and drunk. Go to sleep by 8 o'clock.
I am. We might get a hotel, so I'm frosted.
Do you think, player? So, for the voice of a generation, Pete Rosado. For B.
Jack Tunney.
For the queen, the head of the Yerrr Sports Show table, Queen Tay, a.k.a. 7K Tay. It is your boy, Big Baby, a.k.a. Dre Dollars, signing off. Peace.
See, that was better. See?